Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. Recently JP Morgan released, a statement saying that, Ethereum is essentially the backbone of the crypto market. And I think what they were really trying to say is that the Ethereum blockchain is the backbone of the crypto market, especially with Ethereum 2.0, coming in, Ethereum moving to proof of stake instead of, Ethereum is being mined right now. I think that, as far as I think what JP Morgan means and what all the other banks are meaning is that, for institutional investors, their main goal is to not lose money. And I think a lot of people don't understand what that really means. You know, Big institutions, big money, their job is to make sure that people with a lot of money don't lose any money and they maintain their wealth. It's not about, if I have $100 million and I give JP Morgan my $100 million and I'm like, yo, make sure that this makes me money. Their job is to make sure that the initial 100 million that I give them does not go under 100 million. And with JP Morgan coming out and saying this, it's an easy guess or easy common sense like theory, right? Which is what I usually base off my at least my a lot of my trades on, right? And I think what they mean is that it's more stable as far as what the growth can actually happen with Ethereum. So where you would see a correction in Bitcoin of, possibly 40, 50, 60%, in Ethereum it might only be a correction of maybe 20, 30%. So I think what JP Morgan is really trying to say is that the Ethereum coin, right, the Ethereum crypto is not, I don't want to say a stable coin, but it's more of it's more of a stability as far as price movement and as far as price action. And I think JP Morgan actually gets it correct. And them saying that, the futures market is way bigger for Ethereum than Bitcoin doesn't surprise me, because you don't have big fluctuations on Ethereum like you do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, you can see a move from 40K to 60K in the span of, a week or two, right? Whereas Ethereum, you'll see a move from 3,000 to 4,000, or possibly even less than that in that same time frame. So you can see Bitcoin move, as far as percentage wise, from 40 to 60. That's a full 50% move on Bitcoin's part. But whereas if you go from 3K to 4K, that's really only like a 30% move, possibly a little bit less. And I think what JP Morgan said is that at least for big money for investment, they're planning on moving institutional investor money into Ethereum and putting more money into Ethereum, because it's more of a stable crypto as opposed to Bitcoin or any other crypto that has super big fluctuations in price. And I think I'm holding I'm holding about 3 Ethereum right now. Once we actually have a really good rally to the upside, I'm planning on moving all of my big positions. Or let's say like like Matic, for example, right? On Matic, I think I have like a 10K, a little bit higher than that. If Matic does end up going back to around $3 or so, or possibly higher than that, I will take out that full position and I'll put it into Ethereum, just because I do think Ethereum can possibly run to $5,000, $6,000 in the long term, and I'm not really scared of Ethereum going to zero, right? So that's why it's more of a safety net of a longer term growth, as opposed to me making 1,000% in 10 days. I know Ethereum will do like 500% in the next couple of years, and I'm willing to put my money in Ethereum, possibly stake it, and I'm like, what, I don't need Ethereum to I don't really care about Ethereum moving up too fast, because I know in the long run it's going to gradually go up instead of having some crazy price fluctuations. And I think that's what JP Morgan and a lot of these banks are coming out with statements, and they're basically saying like, yo, like, I think we're going to start putting all of our money into what's it called into Ethereum, because we think, as far as their blockchain tech and as far as the Ethereum platform, as far as their developers, their backing, as far as their financial backing is pretty big, and they have a really strong core where Ethereum, it's not, I don't want to say impossible, but it's a very, very, very unlikely probability that Ethereum will ever go to zero. And I think with Ethereum 2.0 and all the Ethereum being, constantly, the Ethereum is going down in supply. in exchanges, just because everybody's actually grabbing their Ethereum and moving them into hardware wallets like ledgers and stuff. So the supply in Ethereum is actually getting lower and lower and lower, and it's going to keep going lower after proof of stake actually happens. So I think I'm definitely going to be adding a big position into Ethereum over the next coming months, just because I do think that Ethereum has an insane room um, of growth, and I do think eventually it can match Bitcoin's market cap, or at least surpass it. And I think it's a very big likelihood that both Ethereum and Bitcoin, cross the trillion and the 2 trillion mark. Right? I do think it's highly probable. So I'm just, after this whole run is over, if it does happen, I will be moving most of my crypto holdings into like into like a big percentage of my portfolio being Ethereum. But like I said, JP Morgan really is just saying like, hey, we think Ethereum is stable enough to put all of our clients' big money into it, and I think that's a really good indication of what they think long term. And I actually really not trust. I actually like I like Goldman, I like JP Morgan a lot as far as banks. I don't want to say I like banks, but as far as people who didn't hurt in the '08 recession and what happened, JP Morgan has a lot of money, and they have a lot of really smart people working for them. So if I had to actually follow one specific bank, I'd go with JP Morgan. I think Chase is a really solid bank, and I think they make a lot of really good they make a lot of really good decisions, and it's never a bank that I would bet against. So definitely go read the article. I'll link it down below for everybody to read if you're interested. But like I said, keep in mind, like I said, J.P. Morgan, I think is doing this. I think they're 100% right on Ethereum, of it being a continuous growth to the upside, and it being a safer investment, as opposed to something like a Bitcoin, or something else like a Cardano or something. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.